You ever seen such hairy pigs?
Now, for all y'all that are new to Hazzard County, folks here tend to be very individualistic. Like if there ain't no road going to where they're going, they'll make one, especially if it's a Dukes doing the going.
Go to holly.com. Make sure that you tell them that we sent you. You have to do that in person or on social media or on the phone. Alrighty, up next is the Dukes Review. This is Season 2, Episode 4, titled The Meeting, written by William Rayner and Miles Wilder, directed by William Asher. Original air date, October 19th, 1979. Our original review only once on the Kibbe and Finnegan Show, Episode 14, in December of 2016. Here's the show preview right here.
When the mob beats in Hazzard County, there's some dealing.
Me and my associates would give 10 grand.
Hope you don't mind if I go skinny dipping.
You really dip.
Some dancing,
Don't think too long.
Whose side are we on?
some wheeling.
I guess we're gonna cancel my insurance now.
And a little romance.
He just gave us the kiss of death.
There you go. Show preview for the first time in 10 years. For you new listeners who have just joined us on YouTube, we have reviewed all 7 seasons of the Dukes of Hazzard on our audio podcast. You can go back and find them. Find them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you need. Now we're doing them all again for you right here on YouTube, despite the objection of our audio-only Real Radio producer. I am Rob Kibbe, automotive podcasting know-it-all. He is Bernie McParlin, automotive producer know-it-all. He is Justin Corndog Cornett. He actually knows it all. All right, fellas, here is the rundown of this episode. IMDb summary says, Hazzard Jail is the meeting place for Blackjack Bender and a group of syndicate kingpins. They are considering to smuggle illegal weapons into the area. Bo and Luke, with a little help from Uncle Jesse, Daisy, and their friends Cletus and Cooter, use some good old Southern smarts to keep the mobsters at bay until the FBI can arrive to investigate.
Kind of lengthy, but yeah.
A lot of words.
Yeah.
Bern doesn't like it. He's muted himself. Usually has a quip right now.
No quip. Just long and drawn out.
So
Too
you
much
like it?
information.
No?
Like your summaries on your show. Way too long. Your intro summaries. You know. They're more of a synopsis than a...
You know, you spend an hour and a half using your jokes about my Dukes movie idea, but
Yeah. Hey, you pitch them. I'll put them up on the magic tee and hit them home.
you can go back on mute. Appreciate the
Okay.
time. All right. DVD summary. It's good old boys versus good fellas when Bo and Luke tangle with mobsters who paid Boss Hogg $10,000 to rent out the jail for a wise guy confab. I like
Pretty
that
much.
better. I do like that one.
Confab. Confab. New word.
Good old boys versus good fellas. That's clever.
Yeah.
Here's my just the right length summary. Burn a little summary music here. Just 16 episodes ago, the Dukes were helping hookers in RVs. Now we've gone full cartoon. In a full-on forget about it episode, the Dukes meet with the mob with all the classic tropes. Limos, pinstripe suits, the bad guy who was just in the Dolly Parton episode, sister thing, hilarious pranks where people bite their knuckles when girls are going to go skitty dipping, coins flipping, people eating crushed or nuts by crushing them with their hand. It's all the stuff. Plus we get not one but two General Lee jumps, including the death of Lee 3. One of the original 3 General Lees, the one that Corndog thinks might be the very first General Lee. This is a great, fun Italian mobster sandwich of an episode. I loved it. It is basically, though, just a cartoon. I give it 9 curly cement galoshes corn dogs.
All of that was true except for the first General Lee part. I think the fan base kind of wants to believe that that's the first one just because of things that have been said over the past. But yeah, I still believe, and I have nothing to really prove it, but I believe that the first three were built in unison with each other. And they just grabbed the nice one, and there you go.
Let's talk about the first three General Lees, because that is a unique part that'll be in this episode, and we'll show it in the YouTube edit. Lee 3 is one of the two General Lees that takes a jump in this episode. And what's unique about Lee 3? Why is that particular car special?
Well, it started off, the first three cars, Lee 1, 2, and 3, they were not labeled until they went to Georgia, but they were built in California 95% of the way. And so at the time that they were built in California, the 01 was not put on the doors, and apparently none of the cast and crew realized that the doors were technically, or in the storyline, welded shut. So they went out to Griffith Park in Los Angeles and did a photo shoot. And so a lot of these early photos that you see of Bo, Luke, and Daisy with the General Lee, you'll notice it does not have the 01 on the door. Sometimes the door is open and they're like standing in between the door and the car. And so they did a bunch of photos that you can Google pretty easy and see. And I actually, if you look at the most of the DVD covers, you'll see the same photos that were used. So yeah, this car was the nicest of the three. It had a 3-point roll bar that was removable. Sometimes you'll see this car, not in this episode, but sometimes prior to this episode, you'll see the car with no roll bar, or you'll see the roll bar in it and you'll see it kind of bouncing around inside the car. And Lee 2 and Lee 1 both had full cages. So it was always kind of like Lee 3 is the nice car. Lee 1 and 2 was the workhorses.
What was Lee 3 a real RT car?
I believe it was an RTSE. It was a green car with saddle interior. It had, I believe it had power windows. Let me think. So it had the SE option, which gave it the wood grain steering wheel and the wood grain dash around the gauges. So, if you think back to early Georgia episodes, there's a scene where they show Bo driving, just kind of his hands on the steering wheel and the dash, and you could see a wood grain dash, and that's going to be Lee 3. So yeah, that car was used throughout the entire Georgia run. That car actually is the one in Daisy's song where they were behind the recording studio and they come bailing out of the building and run down the hill, and Tom Wopat does his hood slide accidentally across the hood
slide.
Yeah. And then cuts his rib cage or side, or
cuts his arm on that
yeah,
antenna.
Something. Yeah. And then that is the car that you see pile through the police cars and hightail it out of there. So at that point, when the car, had that collision in the front with the police cars, that's that car ended up getting Lee 1's door. I believe that was the door that it got. But anyways, they built the car up, fixed it back up. It was still the nicest of the bunch, and it got used throughout the rest of the Georgia production, then got loaded up with 2 68 Chargers on a transporter and shipped over to California, and it picked up production out there and made it through the whole first season, and then ends up, a few episodes into the second season and dies on a little simple jump.
Died in this one, and it was just a smaller jump, not over a barn, not over a house, just over a crick, not even like with the kicker.
Wait, what did it jump over?
Up. I think it was a crick, wasn't it?
A crick or a creek?
Oh, what do you guys say? Creek?
I'm sure Bernie's with me. He's on mute right now, but I believe he calls it a creek as well.
A creek?
It's a creek. It's a crick in East Texas. But
you
here
get
in the
crick in your neck.
You have a crick in your neck, but in East Texas, it is crick.
Do you shovel snow, or do you scoop it?
Do you know how long it's been since I've seen snow?
It depends where you're from.
But if you do it, yeah, you do shovel it.
Yeah, I haven't
Okay,
seen
we're on the
snow.
same
I saw
page.
ice back in February and got this. Thank you very much. But
I'll defer to Creek, but the jump, usually the generally jumps. What kind of makes the generally fun to watch jump is
Massive jumps.
they're massive and they have this little kicker. So when it approaches the ramp, it goes like the nose of it just pops up.
Right.
It looks like it's leaping. That's not this jump. It kind of falls off the ramp and dies.
Yeah, and what made it even worse was that the landing side was an embankment of the creek. So it made it even worse. And if you watch it frame by frame, you can just watch that vent window frame on the driver's door and the A-pillar that runs alongside the windshield, and that gap just gets really wide at the top. That means, the whole car is just buckling and the tail end is pushing up, which is pushing the roof forward. And that gap is, you could just about put your hand in there. It's bad. A lot of damage.
There's another jump in here with a different car, I believe, and this one jumps over the mobsters. And I think it's earlier in the episode, actually chronologically, as we discuss it. Cool jump. And I know that cars don't jump in slow motion, but I like in my mind that they do, because in the Dukes of Hazzard, they don't jump in real time. They sound in real time. Like all the sounds sound like they're happening in real time, but the jump itself is in slow motion leaping. So awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know any details about this car? This wasn't a Georgia car. This was just
this was a
production car.
Right. This is a Valley's era built car. This was I'm looking at a screenshot. At least the front fender on the passenger side is a 68. I cannot tell on the quarter panel if it has the 68 side marker, but it kind of looks like it has a 69 side marker. So it's just a cobbled together car. It has a somewhat of a full cage. It has a hoop right behind the seats and then two down bars that go into what look like, it doesn't go straight down like it does on the Georgia cars into where the rear seat cushion. This one actually goes like to the package tray area. Just, a better, well-built cage. But yeah, it looks to be 68 maybe, but hard to tell.
Okay. So with that all established, I think there's later on that we see a nice close-up, and I like it every now and then in these early episodes when you still see a car that has rare things inside of it, like sun visors.
Yeah.
It's stuff that they take out, but it's always kind of fun to look at it. I just drove my General Lee around yesterday. I put the sun visors down in that thing all the time. I don't know how you could get around without it.
My red 69 Charger, that's the way I drive it, with the visors down, just because usually when I do drive it to work, I'm facing the sun and you got to have them. But I know for the production, they took them out because, it clears up the view. And sometimes as they were driving, the visor would fall down on the bumpy roads. So
they take that out, the rear view mirror, all the stuff that blocks the actors. But here's the gist of the episode. The mob, the no foolin' Chicago mob, comes to Hazzard because they need a secret place to meet. And it's 4 mob kingpins. And they're all none of the actors are household names, but they're all playing the classic Italian mobster. The pinstripe suit, calling people curly, the cement galoshes. They claim to be there on a legitimate toy business. They're all toy company executives now having a meeting about toys, but really they're meeting because the 4 kingpin mobsters' sons are kicking them out of their own illegal enterprises, and they want to find their way back in.
The organization we built with our own sweat and blood has fallen into unfriendly hands, specifically those of our own sons.
My own kids won't let me go near the docks.
What are you talking about? I ain't even allowed into my own horse parlors. I ain't even.
They even got lookouts to turn me back if I want to get into Atlantic City. Me, who invented the 6-slot machine jackpot parlay.
You know what?
What?
You're a genius.
I know.
Time we teach them young punks a lesson. We gave them the gambling, loan sharking, the black market, the broads, and the booze. The Kerner phrase, what the Godfathers giveth,
Godfathers can take it away.
So they pay Boss Hogg $10,000 for a protected environment to have their meeting. That's the episode. In between, the Dukes figure out that these are bad guys, and they don't want bad guys in their town. I think that's the only reason they choose to do something about it, right?
Right.
Because Cooter's job is to wash, wax, and house their limousines. And their limos are all the classic ones of the era. And I think it was like 2 or 3 just used over and over again. One of them, I think, is Limo 1 from the Limo 1 is Missing episode.
Probably so.
A Lincoln Town car. The other is a 76 Cadillac. Now, when I was a kid, my mom had a 76 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. And these were 76 Cadillac limos. It's a little stretched, little longer version. But the only reason I knew those was because of the taillights. And I did pause several scenes. Whenever they'd have a 76 Cadillac limo go by, I'd look at the license plate. They did change it scene by scene. So if they were using the same car over and over again, they were at least swapping the plate.
Okay.
A lot of nice attention to detail there that I liked. The mobsters have done business with Boss Hogg before. He used to bring them liquor to Chicago. And for a little bit, you kind of get the impression that Boss was okay with the mob and that he was aware of their practices and maybe part of it. For a very brief moment, you think that. At least I did.
Mm-hmm.
Then he immediately clears the air and he doesn't want any part of that and he doesn't want to discuss that. And it does reassure you that Boss Hogg, while he's greedy, he's not evil. He's just selfish.
Right.
It's more of that. Is there any other reason though that the Dukes are trying to stop the bad guys? I can't think of one.
No, they kind of leave that part out on this episode. They don't really give much reason at all, to be honest.
The Dukes sneak in to the place where they're having their secret meeting, which in this case is the jailhouse. And they sneak in by, it's kind of like Ocean's 11. They're inside 2 tables that have catered food on them.
Yeah.
And they're brought all the way in there and they decide to escape. And it's a very funny shot. Kirk, I hope you show this in the video edit. While they're crawling away in the tables by like paddling their hands. And John Schneider's table runs into a wall. It's pretty funny. And then it
backs up and cuts over. What was dumb to me was like, that was their plan to get in there and find out what was going on. So why not just hang out there? I mean, they knew that they were bringing the food in on these tables, and these tables were going to be set up right next to these men. So why would you think that, hey, let's walk ourselves out of here under these tables and no one will even notice that these tables are moving? I mean, that was like the dumbest plan. I remember the first time I saw this
cartoon episode.
First time I saw this episode, I was like, well, that was stupid.
And they're talking in full voice, like the guy standing right there is not going to hear him. Hands don't fail me now.
When they appear from the tables, I mean, it's straight out of a cartoon. There's a gun, a gun, a gun, a gun.
Yeah.
And then they appear. It is silly.
Very Looney Tunes-ish.
Silly episode. But the Dukes do escape. And then we get one of the very few episodes where we have an entire series of car chase solely around the town square.
Yes.
In multiple vehicles. Daisy's driving the General. Cooter's driving his tow truck. And they're using real in-car camera shots to do this. And as you know, Kirk, I hopefully can find a map of Warner Brothers Midwest set. It's tiny. It's one circle around the square, but the way they shoot it looks like they're going up a block down this way, up a block up this way. But all they're doing is going around in a circle.
They do go down some of the little side streets, but not far that lead up to the square. Because if you get too far off, then before you know it, now you're in like a little China area and then like a
New
big
York set.
New York with big columns that you see in Superman. So yeah, it doesn't, you can only have the Midwestern set, so much, but yeah.
At the 30:15 mark of the episode, we're back in Cooter's garage, and suddenly, out of nowhere, there's like a 63 Chevy sitting in there.
Yes.
Super cool. At the 31:07 mark, when they leave the haystack, the general is buried in there, and then they go to the green screen, and Bo and Luke are talking to each other, and there's like this aura that keeps appearing around them on the green screen that I think is supposed to look like them going through warp. Maybe that's only appeared like that way to me. At the 32-minute mark, this is the cartoony part. The bad guys have a map of the city of Hazzard, and they're getting reports in from their troops out in the field. And they have toy cars on the map to show their positions, like the Hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
And they have a General Lee car that they have somehow made that day to put on the board for this. And the General Lee, I don't know what the General Lee car is, but it's a little orange car, and the Confederate flag is on there sideways.
Yeah, it was annoying. I was hoping to see one of those little, Ertl Hot Wheels type cars, but it was like some little wedge looking, I don't even know what they wanted to call it, but
rod.
yeah.
It was orange and it had a rebel sticker on it.
It's terrible.
As they're rounding up the bad guys, they all have to do their part. Daisy pretends to go skinny dipping. And this is season 2 Catherine Bach at her most attractive.
Hey, hi, fellas. Y'all are at my favorite swimming hole. Hope you don't mind if I go skinny dipping.
Skinny dipping? Look!
This water feels so good on my bare body.
Where'd she go? What happened?
At the 38-16 mark, Bo and Luke catch their bad guys by sneaking up behind them at a gas pump, and then each grabbing a gas pump handle and wrapping them around it, which somehow knocks the bad guys out. And
now you see John Schneider reach over and kind of like clap their heads together, but like did a poor job at it. And it just kind of
I think one of them had already passed out, or just short of the like if they'd have had little funny sounds happening, that's the only thing they were missing. The mobsters constantly refer to Uncle Jesse as an old man or Gramps. The mobsters are all old men. What? I don't think I get that one. And then finally, Corndog, what is the white 4-door Mopar at the town square that they keep slamming into sideways? It's a 4-door something.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I had a screenshot of it, and I don't, but I can tell you who was standing there with it. The red-haired man with the glasses?
Yeah.
That is Richie Birch. He was a stunt man that evolved into cameraman for the Dukes. And
he has a line, doesn't he?
Yeah, like a half of a line, like
hey, knuckleheads or
something
like that.
Maybe that at most. He was the passenger. Okay, so let me see. He rode the passenger seat during the high octane jump over the semi truck.
Really?
So he was the passenger, and there is another jump that we see eventually. I don't think we've seen it yet, but it's the one. I think it's in the Kel Yarbrough episode where the General Lee jumps, and it's a good front passenger or front driver's side angle on dirt road with like a row of trees right alongside it, and the car lands like right at the side of the camera, and you can see the driver's head frame by frame, just like because it was slow motion, like they all were.
Yeah,
it goes all the way below the door opening and then pops back up. That was Richie Birch jumping that one as well. I don't know if he was injured and then evolved into a cameraman, but yeah, so he became a cameraman, and his son, also Richie Birch, he's a cameraman to this day.
Some of the bad guys' cronies seem to be stuntmen or stunt performers. I know their faces from future seasons of the Dukes of Hazzard.
Mm-hmm.
There's one finale, though, when they catch the mobsters in the jail by dropping a net on them, like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
All of the mobsters are sitting there on the floor with their hands up under the net. Nobody has a gun on them. They just have their hands up.
We give up.
Cut the rope now.
You got me now. She ain't hollering you out. She's not hollering you out. Hey, Jack, I'm begging you. Spare those innocent boys. I'll put them in prison where they never bother you again.
Afraid you got it all wrong, cousin boss. Looks like it's gonna be the other way around.
Well, I'll be switched.
Well, Roscoe, you done it again. What?
I did, didn't I?
Also unaddressed in here, Cletus is the guest sheriff, or the guest deputy.
Hmm?
Is that new? Was he in the last episode?
I don't.
Why is he here?
If he was, he made those 2 appearances before, where they blew up something and he was just, a stand-in kind of one-time guest. But, yeah, this time he became a deputy. And from what I understood was, I think this episode and maybe next episode or a handful of episodes, Enos is out because, Sonny was actually, I believe, getting his appendix removed. He was out for medical leave in real life, not the Enos character, but Sonny was. But yeah,
instead of explaining it, they just replace him. You know what? I just checked. Cletus is in 3 episodes in season 2. The one just that preceded this, episode 3, The Wrestlers. This one, and the next one, Road Pirates. And that's it for season 2 for him.
Oh.
So I had no idea about the appendix thing. The episode concludes, though, I assume with the bad guys being taken to Atlanta to go to prison. But they're driven in their own limos. They're not handcuffed. They're not tied up. They just get in. And the Duke boys drive them away. And Cooter has most of the bad guys strapped to the back of his tow truck, as does Uncle Jesse in the back of it. It's a Scooby-Doo episode.
It's very cheesy.
I loved it.
Yeah.
So I already gave it 9. Galoshes, Corndog. Corndog, what do you give this episode? Now remember, Lee 3 dies in this one, so it's a significant episode.
But I mean, there's really a lot of good car scenes. I mean, not just a overabundance of it, but I like the cars from this era. It's they're a little bit scruffy looking, and I don't know. I like this era, so I mean, I give it. The storyline is kind of cheesy, like you said, but I mean, this is the Dukes of Hazzard. It's not a documentary.
It's not Rocket
8.
Science or Top Gun.
I give it 8.
8. Byrne, what's your review of our review?
Oh, I saw the episode.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Do you have a review?
I don't have a personal review. I mean, not a lengthy one, but I do have my likes. I love the cartoony gangster characters. I love that. It made me think of the Bugs Bunny one where he's trying to hide him in the hideout, and there's Muggsy and the little guy with the big hat and the big button ear. So they recreated that.
He covers his eyes. The hat that covers his eyes. The cartoon character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's not hiding in the oven. I mean, just the whole contorted faces and the silly voices, it just played right into that. It was beautiful. For you guys, I know that you love the roof shots, the over-the-roof camera shots going down the road.
Yep.
So there's lots of that in there for you guys. And the in-studio, in-car shots. Were they using... That was film, so they didn't have green screen. I guess they had... I forgot how they did that.
Projector, usually.
Projector in the back, yeah. But too much of that. Corndog, you've spoiled us on wanting to see the in-camera shots and the real stuff, so that it really takes it away from me when I see that now. And then there was the good jumps that you guys have already talked about. So all that together, I'm 8.5.
guaranteed you'll have a good time watching that stuff.
Oh, for sure.
That's the worst that's going to happen. There's some good stunts. You will see lots of good cars slinging around with real drivers doing all of the stunts. There's no CGI in here for that. It didn't exist then. And thankfully, we are many, many years away from miniatures doing stunts. This is a fun one. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure that you subscribe to YouTube. Make sure that you're subscribed to all of the podcast channels. The audio version of the show, by the way, is quite a bit longer. So if you like what you saw, you're going to love what you hear. Our man Byrne, though, he came from radio. He hates this. It's not his fault.
TV is only a fad. And see, it's already changed 2 or 3 times since radio was invented. Video keeps evolving into something far less every time.
When you went to work at the radio station, did you have a day bed?
I have slept in just about every studio and office conceivable in a radio station. General manager down to the, on one occasion, yes, the transmitter room. In small market radio, the transmitter's in the same room as the radio station.
It's a radioman's life. You've lived where no man has wanted to live before.
Do what you got to do.
All right, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. For those of you on Patreon, we'll see you next week. Patreon.com/KF Show. Thank you to Holly for supporting this episode and all of our other beloved sponsors. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Later.
Later.